today's lesson will be on solving absolute value equations. Okay, now what absolute value means is absolute value is the distance from zero, okay? So you're actually going to have two answers. Look at your number line. There are two answers which have a distance of 2 from 0. What are they? Negative 2 and positive 2. So absolute values will never be negative because distance is not negative. Okay? The direction may be negative, but a distance or a length is never negative. You don't walk into a room that's negative 10 by 12, correct? You may drive south 80 miles, but you don't drive negative 80 miles. Does that make sense? So absolute value, as you've probably learned, that is 2. Because absolute value means distance from. So the distance from 0, the distance is 2, regardless of whether it's positive 2 or negative 2. So you're going to have two possible answers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you some of the basics now about solving absolute value equations. So the first one I want to solve is 5x equals 10. Okay? So the first thing you do is you take it out of the brackets, just like it is. Okay? Now the next equation, you're going to make the 10 negative. Because remember, it's distance, so it can be from positive 10 or it can be from negative 10. Okay? So how would I solve for x here? Divide by 5, so that x equals 2. This x would be negative 2. Now, don't make the mistake that all your answers will be the same, but different signs. That's not going to be true every time. So let's plug this back in here, substitute it back in, and see if that makes sense. Well, the absolute value, what's 5 times 2? Absolute value of positive 10 is 10. 5 times negative 2, what's the absolute value of negative 10? 10. And that's all you have to do. Okay, so let's look at another one. So the first time you take it out of the brackets, just like it is. The next time, you make the answer negative. Now, how would you solve for x here? Multiply times 2. So x equals
3.
6, and x equals
-6.
-6. So let's see if that makes sense in our answer. 6 divided by 2 is positive 3. The absolute value of 3 is 3. Negative 6 divided by 2 is negative 3, but absolute value of negative 3 is still 3. Okay, so let's step it up just a little bit. Okay, write that down. Why does it start out in the brackets? Because this is actually an absolute value problem. So it's telling you that you want the two answers that are equidistant from here. So that's why it's telling you. Otherwise, it would just be a regular equation, which is not going to give you two answers. So this is a specific type of problem. Okay? Now, so to solve this, we bring it out of the brackets. And we bring it out of the bracket, and change the sign. Okay, go ahead and solve that one. Okay, so let's see if these two answers work. Did y'all get 4 and -7? Okay, first of all, it's absolute value of 3 plus, what's 2 times 4? 3 plus 8 is 11. Absolute value of 11 is 11, so that checks. Let's put the -7 in there. What's 2 times -7? -14. That's absolute value of -11, but that is equal to 11, so that checks. Okay? Now the last kind I want to show you looks something like this. Okay, do you have any idea what you might do to solve this, Will?
You gotta put the -6 inside the 24, so you add 6 and 6.
That's exactly right. You want to get this by itself. You want to get the absolute value by itself. Okay, so in this case, we'll add 6, leaving these in the bracket. Now we have this, so we can take the equation out of the bracket. And so x would equal 25 here, and x would equal -35 here. Now let's check to see if those work. 25 plus 5 is 30. The absolute value of 30 is 30, minus 6 is 24, so that checks. What's -35 plus 5? -30, but the absolute value of -30 is 30 minus 6 is 24. Okay, and then I don't think any of these are on your classwork tonight, but okay, huh? Not minus 2, divide by 2, because these are doing what? Multiplying. So you've got 2x minus 7 equals 10. Now you would have 2x minus 7 equals 10. 2x minus 7 equals -10. So that's 2x equals 17. So x equals 17 over 2. And that is 2x equals -3, x equals -3 halves. So you might not always get a nice, neat little integer. You might get a fraction. Okay, one last thing. Does anybody, I still see some copying, so I'll leave it up here. Okay, now let me show you one more that they might try to do to give you trip you up.
good for it.
Hmm?
Work it.
Okay, Will, talk to me.
So, you take the three X minus 10 out of the bracket, and then you, gotta get three X by itself, so you add 10 to -7. And so that gives you three X, equals 3. And then you divide 3 from 3X, and it gives you X equals 1.
Okay,
And then you do the other side.
okay, I see we've got one that's disagreeing.
So since a negative takes the brackets, you can put positive to the R. You need to get one of them right there.
Huh?
Okay, so let's take the first X equals 1. Did anybody else get X equals 1? Put that back in here.
Oh.
Put it back in there.
Correct.
That's
right.
No, it's supposed to be
3 minus 10.
-7. What's the absolute value of -7?
7.
7. Is that what it's supposed to equal? No. Can anybody tell me? This one has no solution, actually.
You thought it was.
Why do you think it has no solution?
Because you can't get a, since it's a negative, you can't get a positive out of it.
Absolute values always have to equal a
Positive.
positive. So if you had checked it, because I think the other one was -17 over 3, okay? If you had checked those, you would have seen that after taking the absolute value of them, you got a +7, not a -7. So sometimes you might get carried away, okay, with ones like this. Now, let me show you where this may not apply. Look right there. Can you tell me no solution on that one? Why not?
Visible to negative.
When you divide by -2, then now all of a sudden it equals +5. So be careful. When you get the absolute values by itself, they have to equal a positive. Okay?